This is Wendy Dahl from Zen Lounge Podcast, and we are in Colorado Springs at the Subterranean with Cormorant. How are you doing, guys?
Doing very good, thank you.
Awesome. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do?
I'm Marcus. I sing and play bass.
My name is Nick. I play guitar.
My name is Brennan. I play drums.
I'm Matt. I play guitar and do vocals.
Awesome. And then we also have another special guest with us, Mike, who helped the band be here tonight, but we'll get to that. So you guys right now are promoting your most recent release, which is Earth Diver. You can get it on Bandcamp. Do you want to tell us a little about the album, recording, and other cool releases to come from the album?
Well, we recorded this album in September of 2014 or 13, and it came out in April. So it's been out about a year now. We did it in South San Francisco at Trackwork Studios, which is where we did our previous album, Dwellings, with the same producer, Justin Weiss. And it's been doing well. We just recently signed a deal to put it out on vinyl with a label called Blood Music out of Finland. So we're excited about that. It should be coming out in the next 5 months or so. But yeah, that's about it for Earth Diver. We're working on some new stuff now. So.
Perfect. Well, it's because no one was talking into it. That's what I'm known for. So, all right, I'm gonna have you repeat that again. Okay, about Earth Diver.
Yeah, Earth Diver. We recorded Earth Diver in September 2013 at Trackwork Studios in South San Francisco, California, which is where we did our previous album, Dwellings, with the same producer, Justin Weiss. And it was released in April 2014, so it's been out for about a year now. And yeah, we're really stoked on it, and we just signed a deal with a label from Finland called Blood Music that is putting it out on vinyl along with a couple of our other albums. So we're pretty stoked on that, and yeah.
Awesome. And so while you guys were in the recording process, you did a fundraising campaign, from what I understand. And some of the perks included a private show, which leads us to what we're doing tonight. And I'm going to introduce Mike.
I'm Mike. I don't play an instrument. I'm just a guy. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome, man. We had a lot of different perks for our Indiegogo campaign, ranging from just basic pre-orders to a full-scale show to wherever you wanted us to play in the United States. We kind of didn't really expect anybody to get it, to be honest. But Mike here got it, and we were like, oh shit, we have to go to Colorado Springs now. So a year and a half later, we finally made it. We're stoked to be here, and we're happy to fulfill our side of the agreement with Mike, and we're really stoked for his contribution to the album. It was very helpful because we do everything ourselves. We have the label Blood Music for our vinyl, but all the CDs and all the recordings and basically everything we do, all our merch is just us. So, it helps to have financial backing from fans and stuff, which is kind of how we've always done things. So.
It's really cool to have fans who get so excited about your music that they want to contribute in any way that they can, and finally get to meet up with people who just love your music so much. That's really awesome. So you guys started tour on the 21st in Sacramento, which is a couple of hours away from where you guys live, and you have another week or so of tour left.
5 days. Yeah, 5 days left, and we've been out for about a week and a half. So I don't know, Brennan, how's the tour going so far, buddy?
State of the art, top notch. No, it's been great. We've gone from, Sacramento all the way up to Bellingham. Had some pretty brutal drives, but with all of us in tow contributing, it's been one hell of a trip, and we're playing for a lot of stoked fans all across the Pacific Northwest. So still some shows to come, but we're excited at the turnout so far.
Cool. Where are you guys headed to after tonight? Are you guys going south through Texas or Arizona or New Mexico? Are there any places that you're really excited about playing that you've never been before?
Yeah, we're super excited. Next stop is Santa Fe. So we were originally trying to do an Albuquerque thing. Santa Fe just kind of through talking and things falling through and other things coming up really was interesting. I personally really like northern New Mexico, so Santa Fe seemed like a really unique experience. But from Santa Fe, then we're going over to Tempe, so Phoenix, Tempe area. From there, shooting over to Long Beach, Riverside. So we were thinking about doing like a Vegas show, but that morphed into a second LA area show. And then, is it?
Kind of. I was looking at a map, and it was like Vegas, you kind of have to go north again, and then if you want to play San Diego or Los Angeles, you have to go, southwest all over again. So, did you guys play Reno?
No, we didn't do Reno on this one either. And yeah, I mean, the places we went to for a lot of different reasons. We've got a lot of good friends in some of these cities we went to, and people that have shown a lot of interest in the music. And so far, we've had no complaints. It's been fantastic. Made a lot of new friends on the road, and like some of the receptions, like we just played Boise on a Monday night, and it was pretty electric for a Monday night. Yeah, it's Metal Monday, and I guess it did well enough that now they're instituting Whiskey Wednesday, so it might be the beginning of a whole new thing.
Well, thank you for that.
This tour is kind of interesting because we're hitting like half spots we've been before and half spots we've never been before. So like in 2012, we did a tour kind of up through Washington and Oregon. So we played a lot of spots we played back then, which was like Bellingham. Never even really knew about Bellingham before 2012, but we played there 3 years ago, and it was fucking awesome. So we went back there. But then we played like Cheyenne, Wyoming last night. None of us have ever even been to Wyoming. So it's kind of like a cool combination of like places we know we'll do well in, and places that are just a question mark for us, that it's like we wonder what's going to happen, which is what happened last night.
And you guys have had some pretty good accommodations on the road, places to crash. Marcus was telling me that you guys have a hammock set up in the ride. That sounds pretty cool. So for this tour, have you had any super fun things happen or unexpected shows happen, turnouts, or played with any bands that you were like, oh my God, this is mind blowing. Love these guys. Tell me about the train.
So we played in Eugene, Oregon, at a coffee shop called Wandering Goat that actually does a lot of like legit metal shows. It's kind of a dichotomy because it's a fucking coffee shop, but they have like, yeah, but they just had Antaeus come through, this black metal band from France. So like they have good shows there. But we played outside. It was like I think it was Earth Day. So they had like a special like Day of Dead Earth celebration with like hot dog cart and dollar PBRs or whatever it was. And so outside of the venue is right next to a train track. So in Eugene is like a freight city, so there's trains going by on this train track. It's not just like there. So we were playing outside, and in the middle of one of our songs, a fucking like huge freight train came down on the tracks right by us and just like started laying on the horn as we were playing, and like everything disappeared. All the music disappeared. I couldn't hear the drums. All you heard is like brr, brr. And we're pretty sure that train driver did that on purpose because he saw a bunch of people standing around and wanted to be funny or something. But it happened like once or twice during our set. Like 5 or 6 times where, yeah. So we had a special guest appearance by a train. So that was fun to play with a train. Yeah. But like, you know, we've hooked up with some of our friends like in Portland. We play with this band Burials. It's really good. Bellingham, we played with this black metal band Sacrament of Impurity. That's really good. And yeah, just weird stories. I mean, we played at a fucking house in Wyoming last night. That was kind of weird. In a living room.
Yeah, when I saw the event on Facebook about that, I was kind of like, I haven't heard of this venue before. I wonder what's up with that. But it was a house party. Cool.
Throws parties in his house, and he's really cool about it. And people came, and it was a fun time. Yeah. We fogged it out. We had our fog machine going, and people couldn't see. Oh, and the cops came, but the first question they asked is how many more songs do they have? They didn't like shut it down. They're like, all right, just you kids hurry up and finish.
All right. Oh yes. The one of the hosts of Zen Lounge, JJ, he couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. He's at work. He would like to know what the band's personal manifesto is, and if you guys even have a personal manifesto inside the band's personal manifesto. So this one goes to everybody.
Let's start here.
Let's start. I don't think there's any grand so like basically when we write stuff, it just comes out music first. It's kind of always been like that, and might be changing in the future. But it pretty much just starts with some badass riffs, and then really good transitions between those riffs, and then the meaning and the lyrics and all that kind of stuff is secondary, and that's pretty much handled by Matt and Marcus right now. But I don't think I'm trying to push any grand agenda or anything. I don't know, maybe Brennan is.
Drums first, everything after. No, it's yeah, I mean, it's if it sounds good, we're gonna play it, and it could be as simple as, you know, humming something into your iPhone and then being like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And it develops into a riff. It's just it's a cohesive band, you know. There's no real egos in the band, so you bring something to the table, and if everybody likes it, then we're going to build off it, and it just makes it, you know, four minds working together instead of one iron fist.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, we just like to play music that's interesting to us and hopefully is interesting to other people. So it's pretty simple with us. We just try to fucking have a good time writing and playing music, and that kind of translates to what people like about us.
We're going back to you, Marcus.
Well, I just got to say, when we get in a room together, we plug in and we kind of are all on the same wavelength. And the way we start band practice every time is we plug in, we kill the lights, and we just start playing something random, whether that's a reggae jam or some blues or some random 90s cover. Like, you know, we all just have fun together, and I think that really is a big part of being able to connect and like make music that is, you know, meaningful to people, you know, besides ourselves. It translates. So it's a lot of fun, and these guys are great musicians, so it's always fun to be on stage and writing with people like that.
That's great, and I know that you guys all have a lot of different influences musically, like bluegrass, and this band particularly is more of a black metal sounding band, right? Perfect. Got that one right. I'm just kidding. I've listened to it. Mike? Question to Mike. How did you hear about Cormorant? And what was the inspiration in kicking in such a nice amount of money, a donation to get the show?
Well, I first heard Cormorant in the Number of the Blog sampler back when Metazoa first came out, and Scavenger's Feast was on that, and it just blew me away. So after that, I became a huge fan, and when it came time for Dwellings to come out, or excuse me, Earth Diver to come out, I donated the Dwellings too, but not as much. But when it came time for Earth Diver to come out, and I was actually at this bar after having already ordered my pre-order, and I said, "Fuck it." I might never get to see him. Who knows? What's gonna happen. And I just, it's fun to support bands, and I like to do it. And I'm glad they came out, and I'm glad everything worked out. So that's my story.
That's super cool. It's a really unique story as a fan. I mean, because this is your first time even seeing the band, right? Live. So that's really cool that you just heard them on a sampler and just became such a huge fan that you wanted to invest and help make this tour happen and make the show happen. That's super cool.
We have a lot of fans like that. Our whole existence is kind of like, we obviously contribute a lot financially to the band, but we've always had a lot of support from our fans, whether it's for putting out records and buying merch, and just having that kind of support is like really helpful for an independent band like us, because we don't have like label support from like someone who's giving us big advances or whatever. So, and it's kind of costs money to be in a band, so it's cool to have fans who are like down for the cause, and that's like been a big thing for us pretty much ever since we started. So it's awesome.
That's really cool. When you're good to your fans, they're good to you. That's super important. Do you guys have anything else that you want to add in or throw in about the band, or anything that is coming up soon that you're really excited about that you want to share?
The vinyl is coming out soon, so that should be really cool. Blood Music does really good packaging, and just the presentation of their products are top notch. So we're really excited to have that stuff come out. Metazoa, Earth Diver, and Dwellings are all coming out soon on vinyl. So we're stoked on that. And
Where can we find those?
those will be available on Blood Music's website, and they usually sell Josh is the guy's name who runs the label, and he's like, they're notorious for like quick sellouts. So like he'll put months and months of work into something. I think he's doing the Emperor box set right now on vinyl, and so like the demand is really high for his stuff. So I think it's bloodmusic.com, but he has Facebook and all that shit, so you can find out. And we'll be, as the time gets closer to when it will be released, we'll definitely get that information out there. But yeah.
I think vinyl is making a comeback, because we had another band recently tell us that that's what they're doing, a couple of EPs, but they're going to press everything onto a vinyl.
I mean, especially with the kind of metal that we do, it's I don't know, it just seems like it's more, and it never really went away as a thing. Like it just kind of like the CD thing destroyed the mass commercial appeal of vinyl. But like there were always people who were like still into it and like collecting it. And that's totally a thing now with like underground metal. It's you can get just a warmer sound, which is really conducive to like the type of stuff that we do. So, and also it's collecting stuff is and the artwork, collecting like a big piece of art that like our album artwork, Dwellings, is a triple gatefold. It folds down into 3 panels. So like if you have something gigantic like that to look at when you're listening to a vinyl record, it's just like, it's a different experience. It's like a tactile thing. So instead of like pushing play on a iPod or something, which is cool too, but it's just a different type of experience for listening to music.
It's more of like a whole completed artwork kind of thing. Will you be selling the vinyl on your Bandcamp site, do you think, or pre-orders, or be advertising on the Bandcamp?
The label's going to handle most of that, but we are going to have some product, so we're not entirely sure what we'll be doing with that right away. We'll probably have some to sell at shows and stuff, but all the online ordering will be probably through Blood Music to begin with.
And what is the Bandcamp site?
It's Cormorant, CORMORANT.bandcamp.com. And then if you just search us on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. So if you Google it, Cormorant, and then the word band, because you'll just get a bunch of bird shit if you put Cormorant.
Literally. Okay, cool. Well, we're looking forward to getting a bunch of footage of you guys playing tonight and taking pictures. And can you guys just give us a shout out for Zen Lounge podcast? You can just say, this is Cormorant, and You're listening to Zen Lounge Podcast, and you guys can all shout into the microphone or fight over it. 1, 2, 3.
This is Cormorant, and you're listening to Zen Lounge Podcast.
Thanks, you guys. What about it? Yes. So we're sitting in front of Elite's drum kit because Elite, a Denver industrial band, is playing tonight. The show they're opening up for Cormorant, and we're thrilled to have them. You know, I'm a big Elite fan. And so they'll be kicking the show off this evening, and then Cormorant will be playing second, and I'm expecting it to be a pretty fun night. Thanks, Elite. You're welcome. All right.